Alright, now today's episode of Trial and Error, we're going to be going from a 4-2 to 1 header to a 4 to 1 header. Alright, now if you're watching this video, you're either A, debating on getting a header, which these are eBay, both are eBay. DNA headers, you already know. Either A, debating on even getting a header, or B, going from a 4-2 to 1 to a 4 to 1, or just trying to figure out the differences between the two. Now, me personally, I have never had a 4 to 1 header. Now, my homie had one on his Integra, but that was auto. And let's be honest, with auto car, you'll never see the performance differences or gains with your car unless it's like a V8 with a manual valve body for the automatic transmission. It's just not direct enough, especially with front wheel drive cars. And on top of that, it's a Honda automatic. So I'm going to be figuring out that for myself today. Now this header, okay, now yes, it's a 4 to 1, but this is honestly, like, no joke, this is basically a larger OEM header. And the reason I'm going with this is because, yeah, I could have got another 4-2 to 1, but there's a gasket right there, and it fails all the time, and I'm just like not even gonna fool with it anymore. So to eliminate having to even deal with that, I went back with the OEM style header. I'm just calling it OEM style header. It's a 4, but that's rude, man. I don't care who you driving for. Anyway, so I went with this too, and I do with the gasket. This should eliminate it. Now, my only contradicting factor is, you see how squished this is, right? Like this thing's kind of dead. You know what? Has this been what's making noise, or have I broken another bracket? Okay, something's broken under here, and I don't know. Oh, my exhaust came loose. Okay, that's it. Alright, anyway, so like, yeah. This is my O2 sensor, and that one's kind of turned a little bit. It's kind of canted on that one. But this here's kind of squished. This is squished. Now, I hope the other one can clear, at least to not get flattened like this one. It's gonna get hit either way, but I just hope it doesn't get flattened, because this here is like, yeah, you see that? That's nasty. But I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna show you guys how to install it, but I am gonna, you know what? I'm not gonna do a step-by-step, but I'm gonna tell you how to install it. Basically, you take these 3 off, take out your O2 sensor. Well, you don't even have to, because usually that's in your cat. But this is probably, if you're going from stock to this, it's probably going to take you a while to figure out how to take this bolts off, because I ain't going to lie to you, it was a pain. But you'll have 3 that go up in here. Take those off. You're going to need a long extender. You're going to need an extension to get those with your ratchet, but good enough for me. I have a gun, so, you know, makes it easier. You'll have 3 up in here to take off, and I highly recommend taking off that down pipe first. So when you're starting this, take off the down pipe first. Take this part of the header off first, and then work your way up. Or the manifold. It's really a manifold, but yeah, take the bottom part off, and up here you're gonna have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're gonna have 8 of these. Take these off, and just go ahead and unplug your O2 sensor, your upstream O2 sensor. Just take it off with the header, and then once you remove that, and make sure not to, like, honestly, you'll pull these studs out, but if you know the trick to how to put studs in, it shouldn't be an issue. But besides that, it's a pretty straightforward. It's a pretty straightforward installation, is what I meant to say. It's very straightforward. The only issue I think you'll probably have is getting the O2 sensor out, because I think it's probably just rusted in there. You know, just use PB Blaster. PB Blaster saves lives and hands, knuckles, hands, everything, all of the above, I'll just say. But use PB Blaster. All right, now hopefully you're to the step that I'm at. You've gotten the header off. Hip hip hooray, celebrate. All right. Now I'm gonna show you the mistakes I made with this when I put it on. And as you can see, I've had a leak here. I didn't really think I had a leak out the head, but obviously who's gonna put their finger on the underside of a header and check for leaks? And we're gonna check the top, but not back here and down here. So, you know, had a leak right here, obviously. It's been hot enough to char the actual metal itself. Not char, you know, put burn marks on it. this is where my issue resided the most, and this is what I hate most about these headers. These gaskets, they are crap. They do a solemn okay job at sealing, but if you do not do this properly and tighten it tight enough, actually you can't tighten them too much. Actually, if you tighten it too much, it'll still end up somewhat like this. This was a horrible leak. It was causing me to lose power. It makes some noises. I mean, it's terrible. Now, if you're going with this header, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that you're gonna get hardware like this. You're gonna get these. Do not panic. You're gonna get these and a set of nuts to go in through the bottom. Now, I had given up on these, trying to figure out where the leak was because I was annoyed and I was just starting out with this stuff. These are studs. You do not put them in up here, you put them in from down here. You thread them in here and you take those nuts and you tighten it from the bottom. You put these in through the bottom. I did not do that. I put these in through the top, then put the nuts on. And what happens when I tighten the nuts down, these were unfastening and loosening, which is why I have a bad looking gasket right there. Do not make the same mistake as I. Put these in from the bottom. These go in through here. This. Take one of these and it should look like this. It should be like that, not the other way around or whatever way. Only like that. Now, that's that, and I don't honestly think the clearance will be too much of a problem. I mean, honestly, I'm probably gonna, that's not even, I've seen worse. I've seen so much worse than this. But I think the diameter on the just straight up one collector is the same because they don't feel too much different. So even if I do hit something that much, like that crazy again, it shouldn't pancake out as much as I think it will. But it's gonna pancake, and I'm prepared for that. I'm okay with that because one day this car is gonna go turbo. I'm not gonna be all motor for too much longer. Just having fun with this right now for this time being. But yo, look at that. I don't know if it'll focus here, but can you see the valves, dude? That's nasty. Hold on. I'm trying to get it to focus. You can see this valve a little bit in here if I back off a little bit. You see that? You see that? That's just straight up ew. I mean, then again, it is an exhaust valve, but still, it's really caked up. Someone tell me if you know this, yo, does that look healthy or not? Jesus Christ, look at all this. It's just caked up. I wish I could clean this. I mean, this is normal. It's an engine, obviously. But whatever. Who cares? I mean, it's an A4. It's not even supposed to be in this car. Whatever. If you're watching this video right now, if you owned this car before me, dude, screw you. You left me so much work to do. I would kick your ass if I saw you. I don't care who you are. I would kick your ass. But, that's that. This is this, and like I said, take your O2 sensor out with the header after you're with your manifold or header, whichever one, and take a wrench or something. Knock that off with a wrench. Just hit it with a hammer. Don't sit there and bust your knuckles. This does not look too bad. I mean, I kind of like it. I'm digging this a little bit. So the way these quarter ones work is, you know, it's self-explanatory. In the next clip, I'll be telling you guys how it is, how it felt. You know how to install this. Same way you took it off, put it back on. Put this or that, I don't really care. It's your choice. But I'm gonna tell you how they act and base your opinion off of my results if you want. Peace. Alright, currently right now, the 4.2-to-1 header's on. And so far, I like it. I mean, it puts the power band in a place where it feels like it should be. It has power right where it needs to be. It's very broad. It carries out toward the end. It honestly doesn't feel like the torque drops off. Has a good bit of power too. But this is being made like 2 weeks after I started even making that video, because the car started having clutch issues. The clutch started slipping really bad after a couple of pulls with the new header on. And I was really bummed out about that. That sucked. So right now I have a Yonaka Stage 3 6-puck clutch in it, and it's very aggressive.
It's a pretty aggressive clutch for this car. It's not that bad. I kind of like it. It's tolerable. Actually, it's not just tolerable. I mean, it's either you like it or you're not, or you don't. You know, if you don't like that type of feeling when you're driving, then don't get it. If you do, then get it. But if you're just driving around this car all the time and you don't really want all that aggressive stuff, then don't get a stage 3 6-puck clutch. Even though this isn't a video about a clutch, I just so happen to do the clutch, and this is what I got. I think a full face stage 2 clutch should be more than enough for the average person, but this car is going to have some power bits within the next upcoming months, so I kind of needed this 6-puck clutch stage 3. So that'll be all. In the next video I should be doing the rear camera arms, because as you can see, you see how this wheel's that way. Yeah, it's pretty flush, nice, pretty, and that one is just wrong. This car needs hella fitment correction. It's kind of bad. I've been rolling around with nothing this whole time. Fenders are not even really rolled, they're just like partially folded with the jack pole. So this car, honestly, it looks pretty, but it needs work. So that's all. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.